Hello, my name is Carrie Beckwith, and I am taking this class as part of the necessary coursework I need in order to move on to the graduate program in speech-language pathology. As an undergraduate, I majored in English at San Diego State University. I graduated in 1996 and then became a teacher and then went back to school about 5 years ago and received a master's degree in teaching and instruction. However, I'm changing careers and moving on to speech-language pathology. So I'm in the process of finishing a second master's degree and becoming a therapist, a language therapist. I don't have any specific firsthand knowledge or experience with language acquisition. Although I've been a teacher of English for the last 14 years, really it's as a secondary teacher, the focus is more on what to do once students have acquired language, how to help them improve their reading comprehension or become better writers, practice their oral expression. So I've always been very curious about language acquisition and how that happens, and I'll be curious to find out more in this class. I only speak English, unfortunately. That 2 years in high school and the 1 or 2 years that I'm sure I took Spanish in college just didn't stick. There wasn't enough practice with oral expression, although I can read Spanish. And when I was in Spain, I wasn't too bad at getting my way around, but I don't think that really counts as a second language, unfortunately. And then you have question 5 is, how do you think people acquire language? I think my first response to that would be that babies must learn from parents, from whoever they happen to be around. In the absence of language, in a home without language, I imagine it would be almost impossible to learn language. I also have some understanding from studies that I've read about as a teacher that show that there is a link between IQ and the number of words spoken in a household. So in homes where children have lots of language, very interesting conversations, engaged conversations, they are more likely to see IQ gains later on as adolescents. So I would think that there's definitely a connection between a language-rich environment and one where a child is maybe just watching TV or being directed to do things rather than having conversations. So my hunch anyway is that it starts with whoever the child is around. And then, through adolescence and adulthood, I'm sure it goes from parents to peers to coworkers. Language is something that's continually developing. Even though I'm an English teacher and my students would assume that I know everything about reading and writing, I've read it all and I know how to do it, I still very much consider myself someone who is learning, and still developing those skills, those language skills. If I had to pinpoint one that I'd like to work on a little bit more, it would definitely be oral expression. I tend to be a pretty good reader and writer, but oral expression is something that I think I could use a little practice with. Thanks for listening.